Hello and welcome to A Course of Love, Chapter 22. We're doing a review of this chapter, which is called The Intersection. Now, in this chapter, he uses quite a few images to try to get something home to us visually, I guess. Sometimes images speak in a way that words can't. So he starts with these two images of the globe on an axis and sewing two pieces of material together. So we begin by using images to help understand the concept of the intersection, which is where the world intersects with you. So this is your daily life, where your path crosses others' paths, where you encounter situations in life, and when things affect your feelings. So pretty much all of life is what we're talking about, where life in form, at least as you perceive yourself in form, your daily life, where it has stuff happen, basically. He's telling us that anytime you intersect with anyone or anything, a partnership is formed. Like the partnership between the globe and the axis. Where they touch, a partnership happens. Where the two pieces of fabric are joined together, a partnership happens. In verse 7, in these two examples, the partnership creates something that did not previously exist by providing a function and a purpose for each. So when the globe and the axis come together, the globe can spin. And when the two pieces of fabric come together, we have something, a piece of clothing that's usable. He goes on to tell us, though, we value partnerships that are productive, where there's a clear function or purpose that creates meaning or importance. We get that. The mind gets that. We do that all the time. But he's going to take us a little farther with this, so hang in there. Verse 9. Everything within your world and your day must pass through you in order to gain reality. In the act of pass-through, you assign meaning to everything within your world. So the world passes through you, and until it does, it's not real. Then you assign it meaning. This is the way we've been carrying on ever since we can remember. You have seen your purpose as assigning meaning to all in your world. This is the view that needs correction. So this is our habitual way of operating, that everything that comes across our screen, everything that comes onto our path, we look at it, we perceive it, we take it in, we assign meaning. This is valuable or not valuable. This is productive or not productive. I understand this or I don't understand this. And we think that that's our job, is to give meaning to everything that passes through us. In verse 11, he asks us to think of another image. You might think of the axis for a moment as a funnel through which eternity is poured, and a whole heart as that which can allow free pass-through of all that is provided. So now this is the ideal situation, where eternity is coming through our daily lives, and with a whole heart that's open, we allow whatever it is that happens to us, whomever crosses our path, whatever crosses our path, to come on in. Let's have this experience. And it gets a free pass-through without being judged, categorized, or assessed. It just is allowed to be as it is, as it happens. Think of yourself as an onion with many layers. External forces bombard you. They come in through your senses, and then you direct these forces. Using your mind, notice who's doing the determining here. Your mind is. You send them to different layers or compartments of yourself, always being careful to protect the heart. Now these are things Not everything. But these are some of the things that come through you in the course of your day that you don't know what to, the mind doesn't know what to do with. Because we've given the mind the function of protecting the heart. So the heart is cut off to us, and we're sending all of this stuff to different layers of ourselves to sit. They're not allowed to pass through you. Most of these forces are in denial. Things that you just don't even want to look at, don't want to think about, I'm going to deny that. And so you just store it. And they are everything you haven't found meaning for. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know what to make of that. Remember, you think it's your job to assign meaning, and you use your mind to do this for you. The mind doesn't know what everything means, so it gets stuck. It gets stored in these compartments because the mind just doesn't have the capacity to figure out the meaning of things. Verse 12, since your function is seen as assigning meaning rather than receiving meaning, that which you consider meaningless sits, and that which you consider beyond meaning sits. So something happens, it's meaningless, I don't know what to do with it, it goes to one compartment. Something else has happened, I don't understand it, it goes to another compartment. And they all sit there, accumulating, protecting your heart, supposedly. Verse 13. These things have not passed through you, and the act of passing through formed a relationship and a partnership with you. So this hasn't happened because they're just sitting there. This is all the old accumulation of memories, grievances, hurts, all of it. It's meaningless things, people and incidents. Illness. You don't know why that illness happened. It's daily happenings. I don't know why I have to do that job. It's chance encounters. It's accidents. It's routine incidents and encounters. All of the things that the mind does not know what they mean, they get directed to sit. And then there are the things that are beyond meaning that we don't know what they're about, like heartbreak. Why did that person leave me? Why did that hurt so badly? Grief, why did they have to die? War, poverty. Your search for God is on that list. You don't even know why you search for God, so you just kind of don't understand it, put it in the compartment. Destiny, things that just seem to happen to you that you don't have any control over. I don't understand that. Let's put it here. So these are all of the things that have been stored instead of passing through, and that's what we're going to try to correct. What passes through you provides the movement of your journey, and all is transformed by the relationship. So what does that tell us? If something comes into my screen of awareness and I allow it to pass through without having to assign meaning or categorize it, then a relationship happens between me and whatever it is that is coming across my screen. And that provides the movement of my journey. That relationship, as it passes through, is what propels me and compels me. And it doesn't get stopped up. Verse 15, when you remove yourself from the position of meaning giver, you let things be what they are, and allowed to be what they are, their meaning is naturally revealed. So when we allow things to be as they are without trying to find meaning, then the meaning is revealed to us if we need to know it. So it becomes effortless. We just receive each moment instead of trying to control it and direct it, analyze it. This takes an approach that allows all to be as it is, surrendering the need to analyze everything. I love this image of the laboratory because it feels so true as to what we have done in the past. You have made of yourself a laboratory where you bring everything for examination, categorization, testing, and filing away. This is the scenario that separates you from everything else within your world. Everything has meaning only according to what it means to you, and not what it is. So this is the fundamental separation thing. So if I'm a laboratory and everything that happens to me needs to be examined and tested and documented and filed, that keeps me separate from that which is coming through. I've put myself in a position of being the judge. And everything has meaning only according to the meaning that my mind has assigned it, and not as what it actually is. So the recognition that that's our habitual process is important. There are two kinds of meaning since we see ourselves as meaning givers. There's finding what is true, that kind of meaning, like, oh, I see that there is activity in the stomach. Okay? We're just finding out what's true. And then there's the second kind of meaning, which is where I have to find a definition. Ooh, that tightness in my stomach means that something's not right there. It means that whatever I ate didn't agree with me, or a personal meaning. Now comes all the I and the me, and this is how it affects me, and this is where I'm going to put it. So note those two kinds of things. Finding what's true is what we're after here. Actually telling the truth, looking for the truth, seeing the truth, and allowing the truth to be as it is. When we drop the second approach, the individual personal I search for meaning, we allow the full experience, whatever it is. Shifting over to the left side of the screen here, you can facilitate this shift. These are some tips he's given us. You can imagine life as passing through you. So here I am in my daily life, and life is passing through me. I'm the axis. You can see the world impersonally. Just kind of remove yourself from that personal identification and just see the world almost as if it's a movie that's happening around you. You can stop assigning meaning or interpretation. You can watch yourself when you're trying to interpret things and just say, stop. You can use simple reporting in your language. Now the way to do this, because we're trying to not use the words I and my. So instead of saying it's a beautiful day outside, I really like cloudy days. Instead, we can do simple reporting about specifics. There are many clouds in the sky. There's a breeze. Just state the facts simply. And by transforming our language, we can transform our thoughts, which then will transform our perspective. Shifting back over to the right side of the screen. An intimacy will happen with your world when you do this. You would think being impersonal would make you more distance from the world, but actually the opposite happens, because there's a recognition that you're part of the one thing that's going on. You'll see yourself as a part of all that exists instead of separate. Instead of I'm over here in my little world and you're over there in your little world and we're separated, now suddenly, since I'm not identifying with that personal I, there's an experience that's happening, and I'm all part of this whole experience. I'm part of this one thing, and oh look, here we are now. And an intimacy happens as a result of that, because you really are part of the one thing, and you'll feel the energy of that and feel the joining of that. Verse 23 tells us, you will find that you fulfill a grand purpose. and have a wonderful part to play in the grand design. You will not feel cheated by losing your separated self. You will feel free. And of course, the ego will tell us, that there's fear that comes up when we let that separated self go. But when we have the actual experience of it by doing some of these explorations that he's inviting us to do, the actual direct experience of it will blow you away with how much freedom there is with it. When you don't have to be in control anymore, when you don't have to assign meaning to everything, and you can just allow the gift of this moment to be revealed to you and accept it without any reservation, it frees up so much energy from trying to be that mastermind. So it's a wonderful, wonderful gift, a wonderful idea that he's passing on to us. And I hope that you'll experiment with it and really be content with what is true and with what presents itself on the screen of your awareness in every moment. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you in chapter 23.